Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Tonight we're going to check out the 6-inch Black Series Inferno Squad Agent, which is a GameStop exclusive from the upcoming Battlefront 2 video game. So let's head to that table and check it out. And checking out the packaging, it is of course in that red and black look. You get a good look at the figure through the window along with the included blaster. You got the only a GameStop sticker there on the front of the packaging. And nice artwork of the TIE pilot along with the Battlefront 2 logo. And as you can see, we do get a little bit of added color here with the red highlights that are also on the figure being brought out on this sketch on the front of the packaging. Flipping to the side, no number because, of course, as I mentioned, this is an exclusive. And flipping over to the back side, of course, everything as you'd expect. You got a brief write-up about the Inferno Squad Agent, as they were a squad that the Emperor had created after the destruction of the second Death Star. And taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, things are looking pretty good here. Now, really, this is nothing we haven't seen before. We've had a few releases of a TIE Fighter pilot figure, and this one pretty much is using the exact same molds, just some variations in the paint job, which you can obviously see here. Going in that head area, the most notable thing, of course, is the red markings that you're getting throughout the helmet. On the right half of the helmet, on the upper part, and then through that chin area, you've got some couple red stripes through there. It's got a little bit of scuff marks in that paint job, looking really good. And then next to that, you got the emblem on the top of the helmet for what I'm guessing is the Inferno Squad. And then on the other side of the helmet, you still got your Imperial logo over there. And then one other thing, though, that is unique to this figure that the other pilot figures did not have, and that is the lenses of the helmet are tinted red here. So that's looking really good and kind of stands out nicely, too, as you look at the helmet. Otherwise, though, the molding, everything's looking good there. Getting into the main body, of course, on the right half of that figure, you got a red line going down the arm. Top of the shoulder, you do have the Infernal Agent logo there again. And then getting across the chest area, you got the box there. Buttons are painted on pretty nicely. And here, I'm going to pop this off the table real quick. And here I've got the, this was the regular retail box release of the TIE Fighter pilot. Just wanted to show that the buttons here are painted just a little bit differently on this guy. It's got a red button here. Top left one here is white. Of course, both white there and then both blue. And then the little, kind of what would be little lights or something are not painted in here. They're black on the retail release, but this guy gets two little red dots there. And then while we're at it, actually, with both figures here, one of the other differences with the TIE Fighter pilot from the Inferno Squad here is that this figure does have the Stormtrooper Belt instead of the belt that's used on the other TIE Pilot figures. So as you can see, they're quite different. TIE Pilot from the regular releases has the holster on the side of the pants instead of being on the back side like the Infernal Agent has, which you would think makes it quite difficult if they're going to be flying in a TIE Fighter, have a big gun up their backside. But anyways, so that is one big difference overall. I mean, not that the red isn't different and the eye and the visor, I suppose. But anyways, definitely a different belt included with this release than we've had with the other pilot releases. Sliding back on the turntable, we'll take a look at the left arm, where here too you've got the Inferno Squad Agent logo at the top of the shoulder. And then on the side of the forearm, you see a couple little buttons painted in there. Nice detailing, looks good. And then looking at the lower half of the body, of course, as I mentioned, that red line does continue down the right side of the leg. But the sculpting and molding and stuff all looks pretty good here. It's that black plastic, so no other paint jobs to worry about. Got some pockets detailed in on the front part of the thighs of both legs. And boots are looking pretty good with a little bit of strap at the top of the boot. As far as the articulation goes, going in for the head area first, these hoses are going to be a little bit limiting in what you can do with it. There's a small amount of flexibility to them, but not really all that much. And then, as you can see, I mean, you can pull them right out. But anyways, side to side, it's about all you're going to get before the resistance starts coming in, pulls it back, and then you go too far, eventually they'll just pop right out. But otherwise, of course, you got your up and down, a little bit of hinge movement there on the neck as well. The shoulder area, of course, you're able to bring those up straight out. And then you got your rotation in there. Joints are pretty tight, but there we go. So that rotates around. At the elbow area, of course, you can bend that up and down, get a pretty good 90 degrees out of it. And then you get your swivel at the top of the elbow too. As far as the hand area, of course, each one does swing around. And then both hands do go side to side. Joints are pretty tight there, but there you go. You can kind of see that. The waist area, that articulation's right up underneath this vest here, so you can twist them side to side. But as far as any kind of crunching movement goes, you're not getting anything there. And then at the legs, of course, both do come forward, and then of course you get a little bit of back. You got your twisting at the top of the thigh for each leg, and then both are double jointed at the knee. So great range through there. And then at the foot area, of course, you get your forward and back, and then you're pivoting at the top of the foot. And this pilot does come with a single accessory, and that is, of course, your standard issue blaster. Molding's looking pretty good, and, you know, I gotta say, I don't know if that's gonna come across all too well on the camera here, but there's a somewhat decent amount of weathering on it. Little dabs of silver paint throughout it that kind of just gives it a bunch of scrape marks on the sides. So I like that. That's looking pretty good there. Holds the blaster in his hand quite nicely, and of course that index finger is sticking out a little bit for your trigger finger. So overall, it is a pretty good looking figure. I like the added red touches of paint to the design of the pilot, and of course the fact that we're getting something from a video game once again. It's kind of nice to see. And so that wraps up this look at the Inferno Squad Agent. I'd love to know your thoughts on this figure in the section below. And also I'm just curious, you know, are you looking forward to playing the video game? I played the beta. That was pretty good. Definitely looking forward to getting my hands on the single player missions though. So anyways, thanks again for watching.